Hey guys, my name is Nate and I'm the Otter Outdoorsman. And today we're going to be talking about how I climatize to the cold. Okay guys, so my method of prepping for the winter and getting my body physically ready isn't the same as some people's, like Justin Wolf's, where he kind of goes into the cold. He takes cold showers and does all and sits around in the cold. Um, Mine isn't that extreme, and I also want to preface this with, please, when you're when you're trying to repeat things that you see on YouTube or TV, do your research, take the proper safety precautions. A lot of us do this more frequently, and I don't want you to get injured. So the way I tend to do it is actually kind of see it right now. I'm filming this in December, about mid-December. We've been having kind of a mild December this year, but at the same time we've had like low 30s, high 20s weather. I'm actually a little overdressed for how I've been this year. I actually, most times when I'm heading to work, I wear a t-shirt and this vest and this hat. And that's kind of been my method of climatizing. I let myself get cold, but not too cold. Just let my body get used to it. So when it starts to get chilly, I don't put on more layers. I let myself be slightly chilled. Now, yes, this can cause some detrimental effects to you. It can kind of weaken your immune system slightly, which is why I want to say take precaution when doing it. I'm in relatively good health, so I know I can get away with it. But basically, I was in a t-shirt into probably October, and then as it started to get cold, I just put this on to kind of break the wind, and kind of keep the heat to my core, but letting my arms take the brunt of the cold. As it started to get colder and colder, what I did was I started wearing a hat. This hat is actually, the outer layer is 100% wool. The inside's cotton, has a little bit of insulation in it, so kind of keeps the heat into my head. So I'm not freezing, but I'm chilled. Like right now where I'm sitting, probably about in the 40s right now. It's in the 40s, but right now I'm not cold. I actually walked out today, I'm like, ooh, it's nice out today. It's really just the wind that's passing by that gets to me. But I mean, there are times I've left my house for work and I'm leaving in a t-shirt and this vest and it's 20 degrees out, and sure, I'm cold. I walk out and I'm like, oh, this is cold. But I just kind of continue on with it instead of putting on a jacket. So basically how I've just been climatizing is just letting myself get cold, but not freezing, not to the point of shivering. And I say, because that can cause problems. So as you get colder, maybe add on a layer or two if it gets really cold, but kind of keep yourself so you're kind of chilled. One of the other things I've been doing is, like, if it's kind of warmer, if it wasn't for the wind, I'd be doing this. I've actually been leaving my vest open, and I'll be walking around with it. And it's funny because I'll leave my office with a couple of my coworkers, and they're both in like 2 layers of jackets, and they're freezing, and I'm just like, it's nice out. The thing is, though, I will warn you, if you really climatize yourself for the cold and the cold doesn't bother you anymore, or doesn't bother you as much anymore, like I can get down to the 20s and still be comfortable. Summers suck. this summer was bloody awful for me. Because I was so adjusted to the cold, I wasn't adjusted to the heat, and it was actually harder for me to adjust back to the heat than it was to adjust to the cold. But I also personally, I run hot. That's probably why I'm having an easier time of it. I generate a lot of heat, at least in my core. My hands and toesies, not so much. Yes, I just said toesies. But because of it, like, and I keep this core, and I've been letting my arms get cold. And if my hands get cold, I just kind of tuck them in my pockets. That's what I'm looking for, because I don't know if it's because I have bad blood circulation or what, but I get really cold hands and toes and fingers really, really easily. And so I try and keep these nicely insulated, but everything else gets kind of the conditioning treatment. So yeah, just a quick little ramble on what I do. Everyone else does it differently. There's some really good videos out there on it, but I thought I'd just share that I pretty much just let myself get cold, and I kind of wear just a t-shirt and a vest into the winter. I will be switching over to a wool sweater soon, because once it starts to get cold here in New England, it can get pretty dang cold. But all of that is a different video. If you want me to review something like this vest and tell you what it is and all that stuff, let me know. It's a really nice warm vest. So anyways, my name is Nate. I'm the Otter Outdoorsman, and this has kind of been a quick little thing on how I climatize the winter.